Hey everybody, my name is Dakari O'Neil, or known as Short King Kari. I'm making this video because I just had the thought and I want to share my thoughts because most people don't give it enough credit. Fat people have it harder than skinny people when it comes to getting in shape. This is going to be a very good topic of discussion. I'm going to give you all of my thoughts, explain as to how this relates to my own journey, my own story, and most importantly, just get the message out to you guys so everyone can show credibility to one another in the gym. Everyone's pushing to be the best versions of themselves and drawing closer to the G-Man himself. That's what matters. So let's start this out with a story. Now, when it comes down to my own fitness journey, I used to be really overweight from 8 years old all the way up to 14 years old, which is really young. The earliest memory that I can remember when it came to just not liking the way that I looked is when I was 8 years old. I remember stepping on a scale and I weighed, I think it was 130 pounds. I was only 8 years old. And I knew damn well all the other kids didn't weigh that much. I didn't like it. So I cried. Yeah, as heavy as that is, I was 8 years old, I was in the shower, remember it distinctly. I was crying, and my dad told me, you gotta do something about it. I'm grateful for my father. But point being is, I started out as a bigger kid, and ever since that moment, I knew that I wanted change. I knew that I needed change, and I had to do something. I tried everything, ranging from drinking apple cider vinegar before I would go to bed, or before every meal. I tried the Garcinia Cambogia pills, if I remember correctly, like the little diet pills that you take. I was like 13, and I was walking in the store with my mom and told her, like, hey, I want to get this, and she didn't know what it was, and it's just very embarrassing to have to buy diet pills. And the thing was, I didn't even buy them. My mom bought them because I just didn't like what I was doing. And it wasn't until I was 14 years old where I actually started to make a change in my life. I lost 80 pounds in the span of 8 months. Finally got it together, finally figured out how to properly do it, not do all these fad diets that most people just shove down your throat, sell you some shit. I actually got to figure this out on my own with the support of my family, and I was down 80 pounds. And I felt like I was on top of the mountain. And relating this to the topic of discussion, me as a fat kid, I had a lot of loose skin when I lost weight, still do, primarily on my legs. Thank God I don't have any on my tummy. I'm very grateful for that. But majority of the stuff that I had to deal with after I lost the weight, it was like ridiculous, bro. Like, I had gyno. If people don't know what that is, it's like literally the breast tissue that people get from being overweight. I had that after I lost weight, and I couldn't get rid of it no matter how much weight I lost. And that was something like I had to deal with like after the fact, and it was horrible. I didn't like dealing with it, didn't want to deal with it. And well, yeah, I was already lost the weight, and I just like, how do I get rid of it? And I found out I got to get surgery for it. And I went on years just keeping my gyno at the time, and it affected my placing in bodybuilding shows. I've done 3 bodybuilding shows. Every single one of them I had gyno, and every single time I asked the judges for feedback, they told me you need to get rid of it. And it wasn't until last year where I actually got rid of it. It costed me quite a bit of money. Thank God for insurance. I didn't have to pay for some of that. But point being is just like all of the things that I had to go through in order to attain an aesthetic physique or a good looking physique, even though I lost the weight, it was relatively hard. And most people just don't talk about it. That's why I'm sharing these thoughts with you, is because most people that go from fat to fit, they don't get enough credibility for it. It's very common in the fitness space, like, okay, skinny people have it harder for some reason. And I'm here to just break it down as to what my take is on that. You know, being fat and going into fit, there's a couple of things that I just want to address when it comes to how hard it is. For one, the gyno. Like, I didn't have a choice to get surgery. I had to get surgery. These were my goals. I had to pay money for that, and I had to do it. Like, that doesn't even consider how hard it was to lose the weight, start to build muscle on my frame, and then finally like have a decent looking physique. But there was just one thing, like 3 things actually, that still kept me away from having the physique that I wanted. One of them was gyno. I had to get surgery for that. Other is just loose skin on my legs. Now, when it comes to that, that's also surgically removed, or I can just make my legs bigger, which that's another motivating factor I should have when it comes to chasing a good physique. And last thing is my hips. If you don't know this, I'm gonna tell you, if you grow up overweight, your hips will adapt to the weight that you have to bear. With those bear birthing hips, at such a young age, they get wider. So it can distribute the weight properly and more comfortably as you're growing up. And due to that, it gives you a wider torso. Now, when it comes to having a good looking body, that's not really favored. And because of that, I have to spam lateral raises, or an exercise that makes your workouts, well, an exercise that makes your shoulders bigger. And I have to work even harder to try and attain a level of physique. And on top of that, there's more. There's more if you believe it or not. On top of that, when you get fat, your body produces fat cells in order to store the excess calories. And when you lose it, when your body actually uses all the preserved and conserved energy, it doesn't get rid of the fat cell. It just depletes it. And what this does to your body is it will trigger your body to produce this hormone called ghrelin. And ghrelin is commonly referred to as the hunger hormone. And because of that, you might be only 12 to 20% body fat, and you might still be hungry because your body is not used to being that low in body fat percentage. And on top of that, it's just the loose skin, the wide hips, and everything else that goes into it. Like, it makes it so much harder, and most people don't talk about it. A couple of other things I want to highlight too is because of how much it hormonally impacts you being overweight, you actually become estrogen dominant when you're overweight. And that will actually take a toll in your recovery. It'll take a toll in your progress and how you gain weight and how you lose it. Good example is when I started bulking again, I was eating relatively healthy for the most part, but a lot of the weight that I was gaining, it didn't look like lean muscle. And the fact was, it wasn't, it was fat, because I was estrogen dominant. I wasn't taking any supplemental support for it. It was just, I didn't know what to do. I take natural supplements for it now. That's DIM and inositol, which are both actually really and healthy to take and good for you. But yeah, it was just like, dude, there's so many factors that go into it that aren't really accounted for when it comes to getting in shape. Now, when we look at skinny to fit people, they still have to work really hard. But one thing that they mainly just need to be concerned about is just eating a lot of food and picking up some damn weights and making sure you're actually going into the gym, you're picking up the weights, you're training hard, and you're eating enough food to feed those muscles. And that really about sums it up. Like, they got to force feed themselves, yeah, but when it comes to your body, well, your hips aren't going to get wider unless you already genetically have wide hips. Well, then there's nothing you can do about that. You don't risk getting loose skin or gyno because you're already skinny, and there's nothing that you can do about that unless you overdo it. But if you overdid it, well, then you probably gained some muscle while you were doing it too. But point being is just like, most people don't talk about it. And there's no hate to either or. Like, you got to work hard to get into the gym. And I'm spreading this message because I think it's important to let my story inspire people. And on top of that, just give a hot take that I've been thinking about for some moments. And this is why it's called Short King Kari Raw, because, well, yeah, this is just the raw truth. It's my mind I'm speaking, and I want people to hear it. If people like it, well then, bro, just watch the video. I don't know what to tell you. But no, outside of that, it's like, when you're skinny, you just got to gain weight and you're good. Even when you're cutting, like, it's not that hard for you to cut because you already struggled eating food to begin with. So, I mean, they both have their ups and downs, but I mean, I would have rather picked the skinny route, even if I hated food, because it just, dude, you just got to spam shoulders, maybe some chest and arms and back, and you're pretty much set. Just wear baggy sweats and no one will know. But no, anything other than that, I wanted to share my thoughts and my story. And well, yeah, if you've made it this far, if anyone's even watching the video, like, thank you. And I appreciate you being there with me and doing those things with me. And just, I want to build a community and help people. So just a couple notes before I end the video. Well, first, if you like this video, please drop a comment on your thoughts, a like, share it to a friend who might be skinny and needs to gain weight. This is probably going to just cause an argument between you two. And well, then, yeah, then I'm sorry, but just do it anyway. But subscribe, hit the bell button whenever I upload. I'd love to get to know you guys for whoever's watching my video. And well, yeah, let's get it. It's goal time. It's goal hitting time. Not a better time. But anything other than that, Short King out. Oh yeah, I do offer one-on-one coaching in the description below. It probably won't end up in the description, but if you're interested, you can reach out to me on Instagram. You can DM me. If you resonate with me and you really need help on your fitness journey, go DM me, Short King Kari. I'm right there. Let me know.